Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're decoding a hidden financial danger that, let's be honest, affects pretty much all of us. We're diving into this concept called the silent leak, and we're going to explore exactly why every little $5 subscription might actually be quietly keeping you broke. Buckle up, because what we're about to uncover is absolutely going to change how you look at your monthly bank statement.
I mean, we've all said it, right? You see a new show you want to binge, you click subscribe, and you just tell yourself, hey, it's just $5 for streaming. It's this super dismissive, incredibly common mindset. We swat the cost away like it's a mosquito. After all, it's literally just the price of a cup of coffee. No big deal. But then, maybe a few days later, you need a new productivity tool or a fitness tracker or, maybe a quick photo editor. And again, you tell yourself, it's just $5 for an app, it's just for convenience. But notice how easily that repetition builds up. These tiny automated digital costs start piling up, one right on top of the other, totally under our radar.
Okay, so let's really dive into this. What if those tiny $5 charges aren't actually harmless at all? What if instead they're silent wealth leaks? We're going to break down the exact math and the psychology behind it to show you why these microtransactions might be the exact thing keeping you from hitting your long-term financial goals.
Section 1, the $5 illusion.
So here's a fundamental truth about personal finance. Most people don't actually go broke because of one massive, catastrophic mistake. No, they go broke because of dozens of small, invisible errors that compound over time. The anatomy of a small leak is honestly kind of brilliant. They're automatic, they're invisible, and they repeat every single month without fail. You set it and you forget it, which is exactly the problem.
Now, what's really interesting is how this creates a very specific psychological trap. The small cost illusion happens because when an expense is just $5 or $10, your brain literally doesn't register it as a real financial threat. It feels completely insignificant. And because your brain doesn't sound the alarm, well, you subscribe. And then you subscribe again. You end up paying for streaming services, random apps, memberships, and tools you barely even use, all because your brain was basically tricked into ignoring the cost.
Section 2, the mathematics of silent leaks.
All right, let's shift to the cold, hard numbers and break down a very reasonable, everyday scenario. Imagine you have just 8 small subscriptions, maybe a couple of streaming platforms, a music app, a workout app, maybe a premium delivery service. 8 subscriptions at an average of just $10 each. That equals $80 a month. Honestly, if you glance at your budget, $80 a month doesn't sound too bad, right? It feels totally manageable.
But the math brilliantly illustrates the real issue here, and it reveals a massive sticker shock. That $80 in month 1, totally fine. But over a single year, that becomes $960. You're spending almost $1,000 a year on background noise. And over 10 years, that is literally $10,000. 10 grand, gone. And by the way, that's without even calculating for the inevitable price hikes these companies roll out every year.
Now, let's play a little game. Imagine investing that money instead. Think about the completely different trajectory of your life if that capital, that $10,000, plus the compound interest it would have earned in the stock market, had actually been working for you instead of just passively draining out of your checking account. That is the true opportunity cost of the silent leak. You aren't just losing the $5 today, you're losing what that $5 could have grown into tomorrow.
Section 3, the psychology of subscriptions.
You see, subscriptions are specifically designed to be forgotten. Companies know exactly how human behavior works. They know for a fact that if you don't actively feel the payment, you're never going to cancel it. So they follow a very strict corporate playbook. They make it automatic, they keep the fees small enough to fly under your radar, and they remove absolutely all friction from the payment process. Guys, this isn't an accident. It is a highly effective, deliberate strategy to keep you paying indefinitely.
The real issue here isn't just the money itself, it's our total lack of awareness. Subscriptions simply don't feel like spending. Think about it. When you hand over physical cash at a store, you feel a slight psychological pinch, right? But an auto draft completely lacks that friction. It doesn't trigger what behavioral economists call payment pain. It doesn't require you to make an active decision every month. And human psychology dictates that anything that doesn't feel painful is incredibly easy to ignore.
Let's move to how this builds a massive divide in how people actually approach personal finance. The average mindset involves passively ignoring those small costs because, well, they just seem too trivial to worry about. But the wealthy mindset operates completely differently. They proactively track every single leak. Wealthy people do not ignore small expenses. They scrutinize them.
knowing full well that a series of small, unchecked leaks can sink a massive ship.
In fact, wealthy individuals constantly ask themselves one very simple question: is this adding value or just draining money? They actively question their automated expenses. They know that every dollar has a job, and if a subscription isn't actively bringing them joy, utility, or a solid return on investment, it gets cut immediately. They are fiercely protective of their capital.
Section 4. Stopping the financial drain.
Okay, so how do we fix this? Here is your rapid-fire 3-step action plan to stop the bleeding today. Step 1. List every single subscription you have. Dig into your credit card and bank statements from the last month and find every last one of them. Step 2. Be ruthless. Cancel anything you haven't actively used in the last 30 days. Seriously, don't tell yourself you'll use it next month. Just cancel it now. Step 3. Keep only what truly adds measurable value to your life. The goal here isn't to deprive yourself, it's to force awareness, because awareness changes absolutely everything.
So, the crucial point to take away from all of this is wealth isn't just built by big decisions, it is protected by small ones. Taking control of that trivial $5 habit actually alters your entire financial mindset. That $5 isn't just a bill, it's a pattern of behavior, and if you don't control it, it's going to end up controlling your financial future. I want to leave you with a final, powerful question to think about long after this explainer ends. Are your small habits building wealth or quietly draining it? Remember, money doesn't usually disappear in one giant explosion. It slips away in small, totally unnoticed ways. Start mastering the psychology of your money today. Plug those silent leaks and take back your financial future. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.